Yeah, the Chinky tonight, really nice. Minimal disruption. But there was disruption. But off the back of the McDonald's that went tits up earlier, I did eventually get a refund, even though the ad agency had pulled all those stunts. So I don't know whether I'm supposed to be grateful or not. I'll have to think about it, sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, it did strike me. That's a bit paternalistic, the notion of paternalism. And you look across the different areas during the amalgam years and since, of all the amount of paternalism that's been going on. Like I said, the people who are paternalistic do see themselves as we care, and are sort of blind to the power that goes into those notions of care. There will be people who are aware of the problems with paternalism, but yeah, these different subject positions that are just not for me, thank you very much, or that was being cooked up for me, sort of thing, and may still be taking place. But like I said, like I say, around the colour green, for example, they were going like that, like there was no tomorrow, like South Asians, and that was going on for donkey's years. And so too, in a way, was green, wasn't it? Green represents, for example, Ireland, and the emotion, the drive of envy, right? Which suit the characterisation of that suits quite a few people, doesn't it? Conveniently enough, but like I said, recently, and all of a sudden we ain't had that much green, have we? That I said, I had off the back of someone, a tree, probably being demonstrated, in some big fuck off Hollywood advert, to walk past me the other day on my way into town, which is sort of a way to try and engineer conformity to things you may not agree with or you're completely not interested in, and so on and so forth. Sort of thing, as well as other stuff. But yeah, I sort of remembered this thing. I'd already remembered it, I think. I can't remember now, it's a few days ago. That really told me, as I've said, that my psyche is in a lot better shape than I thought it would have been after all the ad campaign and everything so far, at least. But, right. Yeah, since I said that, there's been a lot less green. But when I was at the coffee shop yesterday, this is how, like I say, about in 2000, I was seen as the country bumpkin until I got there. Then I was seen as something much different. Neither was the case. And more recently, it becomes apparent that the South Asia and Ireland too aren't the big deals that they were made out to be. The greater interest is England, Poland, sort of thing. America, to a certain extent, it being the empire we're currently and have been, I think it's since the end of World War II, influenced by in Britain in many ways. It's like they were really going for this colour green. They even, on the ward, had this one character, a tree, singing Green Day songs, I'll have you know, about I Walk Alone and this sort of stuff, which sort of characterises a fundamental part of my background, part of what makes me me. Part, incidentally, of what made the situation between 1996 and 2000 what it was for me. And that is, I have got a healthy degree of independence about me in many ways. I suppose out of all the people I knew growing up and all the people I met in subsequent years and so on, I was pretty unique amongst all of them in that I was the only one whose dad had been in the Second World War, sort of thing. And that's important, but really the link to Poland, I think it's Eastern Slavic influences. The cultural and psychological influence of independence, and they're writing fucking tunes to try and put that down, and it's like, and then write stories around it, and you start to wonder, they'll pretty much write stories around fucking anything, this lot. Like with the South Asians, then it turns out, well, actually, he was only interested in any of that to try and find out, well, why were so many people so easily influenced by 96 to 2000 sort of thing, the architects and all the rest of them. But anyway, that's that. But yeah, all of a sudden, since yesterday, from what I can tell, we had a character. It was going to take place, wasn't it? I mean, if you know a Hollywood B-movie type ad campaign from commercial TV, commercial radio and all that bollocks, it was bound to be the case that they were going to start producing stuff from the amalgam years, people they'd brought into the scenario and so on and so forth. Anyway, this individual was put to go into the coffee shop, probably a tree, almost certainly a tree, to try and get me thinking about someone who I'd actually was so fucking bored and tired of that I'd nearly changed my phone number off from to stop her giving me nuisance calls and texts, right? But this is how insistent these people are, right? But like, since then, it's sort of, they've backed off from green all of a sudden, haven't they? And now it's quite a bit of red. Do you know what I mean? And that's the way they'll always do things. They'll always try and find a way to build things up in ways that pretty much suits the ad campaign. And this paternalistic type bullshit 1950s scenario. Which, incidentally, it does tie together, doesn't it? The 1950s and paternalism. And paternalism, if anyone who knows anything about paternalism knows it's a deeply patronising approach to people, which again will just get people like we got with disabled people trying to be called Britannia and so on and so forth. We'll get people being patronised and we'll try and make paternalism look good, which surely has implications. Anyway, who am I to say about stuff like that? Right, so now we've gone from green and we've gone from South Asians and we've gone from country bumpkin to other stuff, right? What exactly is going on then? Clearly, it's, these people are so engrossed and obsessed and consumed with all their ads, all their ad campaign. They're fucking lumped with it, essentially. All that time, for so long, they tried to position me, they tried to put me into subject positions, with no small dose of paternalism, that were deeply patronising, deeply dumbed down sort of thing. Like I say, it's you just listen to, I wouldn't listen to the tunes of Green Day, especially now. But I thought they were all right years ago, but I didn't know what I know now. Obviously, I was drugged up not to figure that type of shit out. But anyway, it's all bullshit. Anyway, like I walk alone, all that bollocks. It's an interpretation of something that's actually quite good for me. Disregarded the ad campaign. It's sort of, in a way, my chance to say fuck you to the architects and just disregard the ad campaign completely and just get on with it. But like we had with green, now we get with red, and that's sort of in the lead up to my meeting with a shrink at the local nut house. Doesn't that sort of start to position them in ways that suit them and the people who celebrate them? Of course it does. Incidentally, and the people who celebrate that power, which incidentally is paternalistic. But anyway, that's the way it goes. But yeah, it's sort of a way for me to fully get out, to fully get on top of those, on top of the dynamics of the amalgam years, and say, that's done with. But like I said, like they were starting to do with green, the colour green, which now is completely shot to pieces. And they're now starting to try and do with red. And I'll just, if I deal with that, there'll be something else. If I deal with that, there'll be something else, and so on and so forth. Personally, I think they're stuck with trying to turn this town into something that suits them and suits their depictions of people and so on and so forth. They're so full of shit. It's truly unbelievable to me. But that's what they're trying to do. That may be what they're trying to do. They may have this big paternalistic notion like they had at times during the amalgam years, that they're doing all this for me. I'd argue they're not, as we get suggestions being made. Let's just put it that way and just leave it at that sort of thing. From the ad campaign. But yeah, so all of a sudden they dump grain. All of a sudden they dump South Asians. And I thought I was the one who was supposed to look for replacements. Anyway, right. Far be it from me to say these things. But anyway, yeah. Green has got no legs in it anymore. Red, I suppose I'll have to deal with eventually, the colour red and all the rest of it. Not interested. But it did strike me this evening, out in a sec. All of a sudden they stopped going with the colour green. Now, because we've had the suggestion of someone who belonged to the psychiatric institution and so on, that all of a sudden, yet again, I should adopt a paternalistic subject position, a bullshit subject position off that as they start going ball for the colour red. In fact, from now on, every time I see the colour red, all I'm going to remember is the colour green, sort of thing. Anyway, sort of thing, and I don't really see the need to address the colour red, but they seem to be going for it. They will probably do it so many times they actually start to believe that stuff, these people, I'm guessing. But yeah, so yeah, I would have liked to have read a book today. I've cracked out Dialectic of Enlightenment, which I think is a really important book from what I know about it. Looking at the culture industry, which... yeah, I think did I mention One Direction? Then, the better thing to consult is not something that's designed to engineer conformity or characterise or mischaracterise independence. And also Green Day. Do you know what I mean? It's just, if I address one thing, they'll just try and stir the shit for some paternalistic 1950s bullshit drama off the back of it. So yeah, like they did. Oh, you know the examples by now. But yeah, so yeah. All of a sudden, the colour red is a prominent feature. We'll see it any second now, I'm sure. Oh no, yeah, will come eventually. It's like the colour green, isn't it? You watch how the patterns were with the colour red, like they did with the colour green, like they were starting to do with the colour green. There's me doing what I do, and then running around trying to characterise it like there was no tomorrow in some big deal paternalistic 1950s Hollywood B-movie that owes so much to the world of advertising. It's quite astonishing. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I might pop into town, but then again, like I say, the amount of nagging that goes on, it is nagging, isn't it? Maybe that character who went into the coffee shop was, oh, come back to suck out the nut ass. I don't know. Not interested. But, I'll just get on and do my thing, and if they want to crack out the green colours, the red colours, whatever fucking colours, to try to suggest this, that and everything, along with the other stunts. All I'd say is, just remember, take a step back, focus on the science behind it, behind how different things are being attempted to be policed, engineered, conditioned, and then self-police sort of thing. To get you to, I'll take meds and then that's about it. I'll deal with this bloke on the 16th, or I might even run, because I'm pretty, why would I want anything to do with that night house? I'll just crack out the green, I suppose, is it these days? No, of course not. And, just get on and, continue to do my thing.